I'm still amazed I got to see an Avengers movie at all. This is the big one, Avengers. With a runtime of 2 hours and 22 minutes, directed by Joss Whedon and released in 2012, the Avengers stars everybody. Look at him. Production budget of $220 million and a worldwide taking of $1.5 billion. This was the big one, and it worked. Let's talk about that for a quick moment. It worked. This was quite the experiment. We all kind of hoped it would work. Many of us thought it would work, but no one really knew if it would work. Back when this was released, and quite often still today, they talk about this being the big gamble, that this was quite a risky move, and it really was. If this had failed, we'd have none of what we got now. It was also breaking the rules of Hollywood. It was actually breaking a lot of conventions. It was stepping outside the box. It really wasn't going the way it's normally done. Which is why, despite the fact that us nerds thought it was a surefire thing, a lot of people in Hollywood, particularly the high-ups, were very concerned that this just wouldn't work out at all. Happily, they and every other doubter were wrong. Like it or hate it, we've got a whole new movie genre now. I'll touch briefly on the characters because I much prefer to focus on just the event that this movie happened to be. But we get Cap and Iron Man hanging out. Thor turns up, we've got the Black Widow, we got Hawkeye, finally, Fury, Hill and Coulson, and of course, Loki. Loki was a standout, easily in the top 5 Marvel villain performances in the MCU thus far. Hawkeye and Widow, they also stand out in my mind because it was really the first time, or other than the cameo in Thor and her appearance in Iron Man 2, that we really got to explore these characters a little bit more. We got to see them work together, we got to see them work against each other, we got to see them just play amongst the heroes. And they stood out, they stood their ground, they did a good job, and I enjoyed them both. Oh yeah, and Hulk. How'd I miss him? The rest of them were all pretty much as expected. The only possible downside amongst the characters was the fact that Cap's suit looked a little goofy. It's just silly. Having rewatched the movie, it is just an amazing combination of character and team-up set pieces, all lined up and linked and strung together by a believable plot, but mainly it's characters doing things with other characters and interacting in scenarios and sequences and set pieces. It really is just a wonderful, patchwork of interacting characters. I really can't think of any other movie that's just stitched together cool scenes before and made it actually work this well, to the point where it's only when you think about it that you realize that that's what they're doing. Cap v Iron Man v Thor, Thor v Hulk, Hawkeye versus a helicarrier full of people and nearly pulls it off. Hawkeye nearly killed everybody. He ain't useless. He's far from harmless. If they're not having great fight scenes, they're having fantastic conversation. They're having these nuanced little discussions that you're just engrossed in. It's very Joss Whedon in that respect. It's when he does his best work, when it's just these amazing characters just having a chat or an argument, depending. And of course, the famous team up in New York scene where the camera pans around and the music swells and all the characters take a pose. It's straight from the comics and it's fantastic. It was an amazing moment at the cinemas and it's still a super cool moment every time I watch this movie. And behind all this, you've got the musical score and the audio effects, which were absolutely on point. But let's talk about the Avengers music. It just fires up my imagination every time I hear it. It's iconic. There's not a lot of theme music that's actually iconic for the MCU. Funnily enough, the ones that I recognize instantly are Avengers, Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange. The rest kind of all blur together. Many fans, including myself, would agree that this is the pinnacle moment of the MCU's beginning, if not the MCU itself. This is where it all came together, proved it could work exceptionally well. It's an event movie. This is one of those movie moments. We've never seen it before. We've always wanted and hoped that something like this would happen, and you finally get it. There's so much more I want to say about this movie, but I've only got a very small amount of time. So I'll wrap it up by giving this one the MCU score of 5. No surprise there. This is the benchmark for excellence in the MCU. Even though it's kind of weird going back and looking at all the very young baby versions of these heroes that I've been watching for the last, 10 years on screen. There's my Avengers review. I've just noticed that. What is that? So that's my Avengers review. Please comment down below. Tell me what you thought of both the movie and my babbling. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great week. Go watch a movie, and I'll catch you later.